Hello and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. We are coming to you live and direct, no edits, no comparison, with your producer, Jeremiah Long, that's me, and our host, Logan Landers. How's it going, Logan?
Hey, I'm awesome, Jeremiah. How about yourself, buddy?
Man, I'm doing great. So I am in Atlanta, Georgia, and you're down in Florida right now, right?
I am, man, down in Panama City with the family, enjoying the night on the beach, socially distancing, getting some great food, enjoying the weather, having a good time.
Excellent. Well, since you're in Florida, we have to talk about Florida, the Florida Gators, in fact, and their starting QB for this year, Kyle Trask. I'm going to turn it over to you and tell us a little bit more about Mr. Kyle Trask himself.
And let's talk about Kyle Trask, the quarterback for the Florida Gators. 6'5", 239, really solid build. He's a senior coming in. Started 10 games for Florida last year in 2019. He led them to the Orange Bowl win against Virginia also. So, hey, in those 10 games he started, he got him a bowl win. And that game he had against Virginia, man, he had a really solid run. A 61.5 completion percentage, which is, that's great on its own. But he also threw for 305 yards and 1 touchdown to boot. So, overall, he was really helpful in getting that bowl win for them. And in his best, for his season last year, he threw for 66.9% for his completion percentage, which is just, amazing in of itself. 2,941 yards with 25 touchdowns as well. But, looking into him, his best game was against FSU and the Seminoles. Sorry, Bobby Butler, our colleague and FSU great. But, Trask threw for 73.2 completion percentage against the Seminoles and 343 yards and also 3 touchdowns as well. So he was just throwing all over the field against the Seminole defenders. They had no idea what to do, man. They need to call Bobby on that one for sure. They need some help. But, just doing some research on Kyle Trask, some things that I really like about him is his accuracy. Like I said, whenever I did this research, his completion percentage just stuck out in my mind. Very accurate as a quarterback, and throw it to any receiver, throw it to his running back, and he will get the ball there for sure. And he's also had some solid strength, like I said, those 2 little bullet points. He threw for over 300 yards alone in those games, but he can get the ball down there. I wouldn't call him a gunslinger per se, because he's not airing it out every single play. But man, he can really get the ball wherever you need it to go. He's a really solid quarterback. He also has a good mobility in the pocket. I mean, he's not going to run forever and juke everyone out, but I mean, if he stays in the pocket, he's good at shaking defenders off and moving his feet and getting around people trying to get him for a sack. And I think he's a really good grit and grind player. What I mean by that is he's not afraid to take any hits. He's going to run through a brick wall, as I like to say, for his team. Just a solid team player. I think he's going to have a great season for the Gators this year. I know he's been waiting on his moment for a little bit now. But I'm glad that he's finally got his time to shine, and that, I think that he's going to have a great season for the Gators and lead them to a couple more wins, probably getting their bowl win. Who knows?
Yeah, the one thing I'll tell you about the Florida Gators is, and I come from a Tennessee history with a great rivalry there, is they're looking to see if they can get back into the pack with the SEC and really start to make some moves again. We have seen some signs that they're starting to actually do that as well. So it's interesting to see. Now, again, that completion percentage, that is impressive. That's impressive for any quarterback. So it's interesting to see. So tell me this, though. Last words, though, because that was what I was wondering about. He does seem fairly untested, though. He's somebody,
right,
we know some about, but we don't know. So is this his big chance to really show what he can do?
Yeah, I think this is his coming out party this upcoming season. This is where he's going to show all the NFL scouts, like I said, it's a senior year. He's going to show what he's going to bring to the table potentially in the NFL. He's already got the solid build. Like I say, 6'5". That's what, a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL are getting a little bit smaller, more agile, but, a lot of teams still want that kind of big, stocky build, like his 6'5", 240 frame almost. So, he's already got the looks for sure. He just needs to get a little bit more experience under his belt, I would say. And if he has a really good, showing out party against the SEC teams and against all the other teams that Florida plays this year, I think that Kyle Trask could end up on a pretty good NFL team this upcoming draft.
Yeah, well, we can't wait to see. And, of course, here on 100 Yards of Football, we definitely will be talking about it, especially if he starts making some big moves. Well, for everyone watching from home, remember, we are live, so please jump in there anytime you like, comment, tell us all about what you're thinking about the show. Please share the show as well. You can share it on Facebook and share it from YouTube and check our channel out over there. So we want to know what you are thinking and what you think Kyle Trask will do this year, senior year, right?
Yeah, senior year.
Yeah. Whew, man, it's a lot of pressure. But we want to know what you think about Kyle Trask. So please tell us all about it and tell us anything that we may have missed or that you'd like us to highlight even more about some of these players. I don't think Mr. Logan Landers missed anything, though, because I learn something every time that you tell us about this stuff, man. So I really appreciate that.
No problem, buddy. No problem.
Absolutely. Well, keep on watching 100 Yards of Football, Sports Talk Radio, and be sure to join us later in the week when we'll be joined by the rest of our team. Our host, Vincent, Mr. Football Turner, definitely an encyclopedia of football knowledge. Bobby Butler, who was a Florida State great and also went on to be drafted first round in the 1981 draft for the NFL for the Atlanta Falcons. And also our coaching expert, Kevin the Bull Jones. And we'll join you every week for more live shows. Well, until then, for 100 Yards of Football, we'll be seeing you later.